Hi, beautiful souls. This video is for you if you have ever said yes when you wanted to say no. And if that is the case, you probably suffer from something that we call a good girl or a good boy syndrome. And let me just say it here very clearly. I'm not advocating for doing bad things or for hurting others. All I'm talking about here is staying in your own truth and staying in your power. So why is the good girl or good boy syndrome so bad for you? It is because we have to remember we all come to this planet with a very unique DNA. We all have a very specific mission to accomplish on this earth. And if we worry too much about what other people will say, then we actually are holding ourselves back. We are pushing down on our power. We are pushing down the specific code that we came with, the specific mission you are on in this life. And it has happened so many times of us. How many times you found yourself in a situation where you said yes when you want to say no, and then what it also leads to is, I believe, it then only breeds your low self-esteem, because whenever you say yes to someone and you say at the same time no to yourself and no to your own desires, you are sending the message to yourself and also to the universe that in fact you are less important than the other person, and that your mission in this lifetime is less important than theirs. And I believe it comes from many things, but one of the biggest things, I think that the reason for that, it starts in childhood, because as children, we are very dependent on our parents, on the livelihood of our parents feeding us and loving us. And very often when we're afraid to lose this love, or maybe when we don't feel like if we have the unconditional love, without the unconditional love, we think we have to act a certain way to get this love from others, right? And that to be taken care of. And when this gets translated from childhood into adulthood, when now you're supposed to be this independent being, and now you're supposed to feel secure in yourself, but you still have this good girl or good boy syndrome, which you are sending the message to the universe, my well-being is dependent on others. This is when everything gets really messed up, and this is when you're actually squishing your power and cutting yourself off from your own blessings and from your own abundance. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 steps on how to overcome the good girl and good boy syndrome. And they will be very easy. You can start implementing them right away. They really helped me. So this is what you start with. Step number 1 is learn to say no, even for little things. So let's say if your friend asks you something, or like asks you to go out and maybe you don't feel like doing it, just say no, or maybe say, let me think about it. Instead of just jumping into yes, say politely no. And the little things, or maybe somebody asks you for a little favor and maybe you're schedule sort of full, just say, you know what, no thank you, I cannot do it right now, maybe in the future. Learn, and I have a whole video about how to say no politely and how to say no without guilt, because learn to say no. And when you start to take those little steps every day, you will actually feel so much better. It worked magic for me, because I felt like I was taking my power back. I was telling myself my needs and my wants are important to me, and I'm not going to submit them to others. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is you learn to accept abundance that comes your way. So often people have a good girl or good boy syndrome. We often feel like we have to do everything for everyone. We have to overachieve. We have to over-deliver. We are always seeking approval, and we always feel like we need to be the ones giving. We need to be the one supplying. But if God, the universe, gives you a gift, accept it and feel worthy of it. Because when you feel worthy of it, then you are more secure in yourself. And the more, and I believe the good girl or good boy and lack of self-confidence, they go truly hand in hand. Because when you learn to be more self-confident, you'll be able to say no easier. And also when you start to say no easier, then you become more self-confident. I feel like they are really overlapping. They are interdependent in a way. You cannot have one without the other. So I would encourage you that when you gain this more self-confidence, you'll be willing to accept more gifts and just blessings from God. And the more you accept them and the more you are grateful for them, the more of them will be sent to you. So this is why the good girl, good boy syndrome blocks this, because you are sending a message to the universe you are not worthy and you want to feel worthy. And step number 3 is this: rewrite your rules. I encourage you to what you consider to be a good or boy or good girl syndrome, rewrite it. Like, start to ask yourself, what does it mean to be nice? Like, sometimes being nice mean that you are just speaking your truth. Sometimes being nice doesn't mean you have to lie. I think so often the society has taught us that to be nice, you have to constantly lie and you have to say, oh yeah, you like that, you like this is perfect, this is good. But in reality, you're actually just serving not only yourself, but you're just serving society. Because maybe if you were to oppose what's going on, maybe you would have this great breakthrough idea that will make the world a better place, right? But if you're just complacent and you say, oh yeah, this is perfect, you're just perfect little robot, like, oh yeah, this is great, then you're actually not only stripping yourself of your abundance and stripping yourself of that beautiful life that God maybe is trying to give you through your gifts, but you're also stripping the world of the gift that you could deliver if you just go for what is in your heart. So, what I would say, the good boy, good girl syndrome are so bad for us. I have a daughter and I'm trying to make sure that she speaks her truth with me, because having the unconditional love where you can say, hey, I don't like that, or and you still feel loved, that's the key. And another thing I want to encourage you to start to feel your own power. Instead of putting your power in other people's hands, and I know it's very hard, right? Because especially when you are employed by a corporation and so on, and we all have to fulfill certain things and do certain things. But in your private life, I encourage you to start standing more in your power. Ask yourself, where am I giving my power away? Where am I not listening to my own truth? Where am I not honoring what I came to this earth with? Like, what gifts I have, what mission am I on, what sparks my soul, what makes me excited, how do I want to contribute, how do I want to help people? This is very important, because when you stand your own truth, and you will know that this truth overrides how the world perceives you. Because at the end of the day, in order to get rid of the good girl or good boy syndrome, you have to start caring more about what you or God, the universe, whoever you believe in, think about you versus what people around you think about you. And when you are able to get there, this is when you're going to start to find your power. You are going to start finding your voice. And again, I want to make sure I'm that I say that again. I'm not encouraging you to go, out and like do a bunch of bad things. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking more about standing in your own truth, being true to your own self, saying no when no is actually a better solution for you and for everyone around. When in the past maybe you would have said yes and then you would be upset finding yourself in some situation you didn't really want to be in. So ask yourself always, is this true to my soul? Does it feel right in my soul to do that? And when somebody asks you, do you like something? don't just go into automatic response of like, oh yeah, I love it, it's nice. And I know because I've found myself in the past in those automated responses, almost like I was this little robot saying what people I thought wanted me to hear. Ask yourself really like, how do I truly feel about it? Like, how can I say my truth in the most loving way that's going to serve not only me but also society, and maybe I can bring in some improvement. So if you like this message, please like, comment, subscribe. This channel is all about helping you live your best and happiest life. And remember, it still all starts from within. So beautiful soul, wherever you're watching this, I'm sending you blessing. I'm sending you prayers of connecting to your highest self. um Comment below, subscribe, follow me. I try to deliver as many positive messages here as I can, and I will see you in my next video. Stay blessed.